Look at this story. Larissa left her little Manu at her mother's house, with her sister-in-law Laura and her mother Maria. But she couldn't imagine what was going on. Little Manu sees a plate on the table and goes to eat it because she is very hungry. Laura comes and takes the child's plate and says, "What are you doing, girl?" Manu looks at Laura and says, "Auntie, I'm very hungry." Laura says, "I'm not your mother to feed you this dish I made for my husband and not for you." Moment Larissa enters and hears what Laura is saying to her daughter. Very angry, Larissa says, "Look how you talk to my daughter Laura. Can't you see she's just hungry?" Laura says, "It had to be your daughter, Larissa, you are a terrible mother for this child." Larissa, very angry, says, "I will not allow you to talk to my daughter like that." At that moment, someone screams very angrily outside, "Larissa? Larissa?" Larissa recognizes the very nervous voice. She says to Laura, "It's Juan, my ex-husband, he can't see me here." Juan outside screams, very angry, for Larissa. Inside the house, Larissa is very nervous and says to Laura, "Go outside and say I'm not here, Laura, he can't see me here because he's too violent." Laura says, "He's your ex-husband, you can leave and deal with him, we have no obligation to hide you here inside our house." Larissa says, "Please Laura, Juan may seem like a good man, but he's not, he's a monster." Laura says, "Okay, Larissa, go inside and hide because I'm going to go outside and talk to him." And he just takes his daughter Manu and runs to the room to hide there. Laura goes outside to meet Juan and says, "Larissa is not here." Juan, very upset with Larissa, insists on wanting to go in to see if Larissa is there. At that moment, Maria and her son Gabriel arrive. Gabriel realizes that whoever is there, Juan is screaming and very upset with Laura. Gabriel arrives and tells Juan, "What's going on here?" Rua says, "I want Larissa and I know she's hiding in there." Gabriel says, "Take it, just give it to me, Juan. Do you think you're at the house of those who come to make a shack here in front of my house?" Juan says, he wants to know about his wife and he knows she's there. Gabriel takes him by the arm and says, "You'd better go out on the street if you don't want me to get stressed with you. You know very well that Larissa doesn't want anything to do with you anymore. Just follow your life from here." Juan takes it and threatens to come back, but he leaves. Larissa realizes that Juan is already gone. She goes outside. Laura speaks, "Do you see the mess you got, Larissa? You have to get yourself a place to stay to avoid this kind of mess in our house." Larissa says, "All right, I know that, but I have no place to stay. I left at his house because he mistreated me. That's a way, but I need a favor from you. I need you to stay with Manu until I get a job and find a place to stay. I can't take my daughter to stay on the street. As soon as I get a job in the neighboring city, I'll come back to get her." Maria, Larissa's mother, says, "Okay Larissa, we'll stay with Manu, but you'll have to send her some money a month, because she's a child and it's expensive. You know very well that the only one who works here is Gabriel and he's not obliged to support his daughter." Larissa says, "Okay Mom, as soon as I get a job I'm going to send some money a month to help with expenses here, but I need you to take good care of my daughter." Laura says, "Okay, Larissa, it's agreed, we're going to take care of Manu, but you'll immediately pack your things and get out of here before Juan comes back to make a fuss here." Larissa says, "Okay, I'll go there and pack my things now." Larissa will then pack her things to go to the neighboring city in search of a job. Say to Manu, "Daughter, Mommy needs to go to work, and you're going to have to stay here with Grandma and Auntie Laura, but Mommy really needs to work and get money to be able to get you out of here and live in a better situation." Manu says, "I'm going to miss you a lot, Mom." Larissa says, "Mom will miss you a lot too, daughter," but she obeys Grandma and Auntie. That's how Mom comes to get you. Larissa, before leaving, tell her family, "I have to go because I have an interview in the neighboring city, but I ask that you take good care of my little Manu, because she is the most precious thing I have." Larissa is gone. As the months went by, Larissa was already employed working. She sent money every month so that her mother could buy things for Manu and to help with household expenses, but she could not imagine what was really happening. In which city are you watching this story right now? The money that Larissa sent to her daughter, her mother did not buy anything for the child and even denied her food. They even forced the child to go out into the streets to sell candies if he wanted to eat. Manu would spend hours and hours there in the streets selling hungry candies, and his uncles, who already took them, would just laugh at the situation. Manu, he alone says, "How hungry I am and how I miss my mom." Laura and Gabriel, seeing that the girl wasn't going to sell anything because they had been there all morning, take her home again. What time does she come home angry and tell her mother, "We spent hours and hours on the streets and that good-for-nothing girl couldn't sell anything, we're tired already." Maria says, if she didn't sell anything, she'll go without food because she doesn't have money, the money her mother sent is for us. Laura says, see what you're going to do there, because I have to go to the bank to solve some problems. Laura take it and leave. Larissa sitting at her job thinking, because there are days she can't talk to her daughter, she talks to herself, I miss my little one, is she okay? She then decides to take her cell phone and call to find out how her daughter is doing. She calls her mother. Maria, there watching her cell phone ring, says, our Larissa is very annoying, what does she want this time? I'm going to have to answer, or what to do. Maria then answers the phone and says, hi daughter, how are things there, I'm glad you called. Larissa says, I'm fine mom, but I'm very worried about Manu because there are days when I can't talk to her, let me talk to her a little. Maria takes it and tells Larissa, so daughter Manu is not here right now. It's Gabriel and Laura who took her to the park to have some fun, she won't arrive until later. Larissa says, our mother, I wanted to talk to her so much, I miss her so much, and whenever I call she is never home. But mom, when she arrives you call me, so I can talk to her. At that moment Manu realizes that his grandmother is talking to his mother and comes running and shouts, Mom? Beal then runs and closes the girl's mouth with his hand so Larissa doesn't find out that in reality the girl is there at home. Maria just doesn't want her to talk to her mother. Larissa says, Mom, I heard Manu's voice, did she come? Maria says, no daughter, it's not Manu, it was the neighbor's daughter who is screaming next door. You can rest assured that when she arrives, I'll call you to talk to her, daughter, see you later. And she hangs up the phone, very angry. She says to Gabriel, get that scandalous girl out of here. It seems it's impolite to scream when I'm talking on the phone, get her out of here, before I lose my temper. Gabriel takes it and takes the girl to the bedroom. Larissa, as she has become a great friend of her boss, is sitting there resting, when Anna, Larissa's boss, notices that she is very sad and goes to ask what is going on. Larissa says, Mrs. Anna, I am very sad, there are days when I call my mother to try to talk to my daughter, but she is never at home, my mother always gives me a different excuse, I have no news from my daughter, my mother just says that she is fine. You know ma'am, as a mother, I feel like there's something wrong, they don't tell me, but I'm feeling like there's something very wrong, because every time I call my daughter she's never here, I miss her so much, I need to see her. Anna says, look Larissa, you've been here with me for a few months, and I see that you're an excellent employee and a good mother, so I can help you today, I'm on my day off, if you want I can take you there to see your daughter? Larissa says, but I live in the neighboring city, lady, in the countryside. Anna says, no problem Larissa, I have my car, I'll take you there if you want. Larissa says, oh ma'am, yes I want to, I can't take this longing anymore, with this uncertainty of knowing if my little one is okay or not. Anna says, go get ready, then Larissa here, we'll just go get my purse. Anna, so take it and you go with Larissa to the city where she lives. Maria, Manu's grandmother, is very angry and tells Gabriel, Gabriel, take this girl and take her far away from here, because I can't take it anymore, she's very spoiled and costs me a lot. Gabriel says, but mom, where am I going to take her? She's just a child, where am I going to leave this girl? Maria angrily looks at him and says, don't ask me questions, I'll just do what I say, take this girl and take her away from here, because her mother sends very little money, what she sends doesn't amount to anything. Gabriel takes the girl and does what his mother told him. Maria says, get rid of that girl soon. Gabriel picks up his phone and calls Laura and says, Laura, mom told me to get rid of Manu. It seems she's a little crazy, because where have you seen getting rid of a child, but since we live in her house we have to do what she says. I'm going to leave this girl here in a square. He hangs up the phone and tells Laura he'll be home soon. Arriving at a more secluded part of the square, Gabriel puts Manu sitting there and says, you take it and stay there, don't come after me, girl. Gabriel runs out, so I don't run the risk of Manu going after him. At that moment, Larissa and her boss Anna arrive. They have to leave the car a little further from the house where Larissa lives, because it is inland and access to get there is more difficult, and with that they have to go through the middle of this square to get to the house. Larissa ends up finding her daughter there alone. She despairs and runs there and takes Manu in her arms and says, my God, daughter, what are you doing here alone? Manu looks at his mother and says, Mom, my grandmother told my uncle to leave me here alone. She doesn't even give me food, Mom. Larissa says, my God, how my mother had the courage to do this to you. Anna says, Larissa, you cannot allow this situation to stay like